Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We are starting the front fitment the fenders to make sure everything kind of lines up. So far it looks good. The radiator support, this hole is off by maybe 1/4 of an inch, but that could be tweaked one side or to the other. But I'm going by what it was when I took it off the car. So let me grab the other fender. We'll throw the other fender on. I am just putting bolts in it. Just if the bolts line up, we're really close. It's just going to take a little bit of shimming and a little massaging, and we can be good. But I definitely want to check the front tips out to make sure that they're on. But so far so good. Give me a second. This is why I need a bigger shop. So here we go. As you guys can remember, here's my candy apple red fenders. I'll be honest with you, I keep scratching it. Everything seems to line right up. I'm just going to throw bolts, loose bolts in here. Like I said, they're just loose. All I want to do is check to see how the fender bolts up with the holes of the rad support. The rad support looks like it's got to go forward a little bit, which it probably can. Everything down there lines up really nice. And I think we got a good fit. I don't see any issues in this part whatsoever. So, I can't take measurements because, excuse me. I can't take measurements because it's all like loose. So, but these holes are, you know, like these bolts are in, and they're actually sloppy on the hole, so there's plenty of adjustment. On these old cars, that's what they do. So, a little bit of massaging, a little bit of shimming. Yeah, it looks good. That looks pretty good. It really does. It looks pretty good. I don't see any fitment issues other than that. These gotta go a little bit forward. Yeah, this one's off by a little more than I want it to be, truthfully. But that's a welding on. So we're gonna have to take some measurements on this frame and see if something's maybe flexed when they took it off the jig. Could be anything simple. It's not bad. I mean, I can figure out how to work with it, but it isn't bad. And with the only problem is all this snow is coming. We got to get that other frame in front of the bay so I can yank the motor off of it. And I think I should throw the motor into this just to see where it sits. And if I like where everything is, I think we can move forward and lift the body and get it ready. I just got to solve this. It's small. It's a very small issue. It's not major, and I think it's just because the heat. You know, when they welded it, I think the heat made it move in, and it could move. It's not a perfect science, but it is in a little bit. I don't know if anybody's ever had that problem. So there's something definitely different there. I'm going to take some frame measurements. I'm going to pull this all back apart, take some frame measurements, and see if it is off. Just got to figure out where to measure from. Probably to this or something. But I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. We'll bring it back in when we measure it. So other than that, it looks good. Like I said, the body fell right on. I believe I had this body on, and because I took my time, probably 8 hours. But it fell in. The first shot, it fell right in. Perfect. I was able to just pop the bolts in. No questions, no problems, no nothing. Drilled my bungs in, got all of that installed. So this is the next part. Alright, welcome back. So, we pulled the nose off, back off, and we're going to do some cross measurements on the frame itself to see if it's out. And if it's out by a little bit. It's not out by a lot, if it is. Which I can understand because of the heat of the weld. We'll pull it in or push it out. Most of the times it pulls in, depending on how you're welding. So, let me find a spot on this frame. And I think I can take it right off of these corners here to get the longest diagonal from here to there, and then we'll measure from this one to this one, and we'll see if we're the same measurement. If we're the same measurement from either side, we know this frame is square. Then I'm going to blame my radiator support. So, I mean, the radiator support is a 1973 CAMARO radiator support. It is kind of crusty, so it could have, you know, in a day maybe bumped something and gave it a little tweak on the mount, so it's not lining up anymore. So let me get some measurements here. So I'm going to hook to the front of the frame here, right on the corner, and they're both identical. So let's take a measurement to this corner. So right here we got 45 inches right to the T. So that's 45. So we come here, same exact position, and we're going to measure right to the same exact spot on this side. Okay. It's off by a 1/16 of an inch. And that 1/16 of an inch is not going to give me the 1.5 inches that, or the 1/2 inch. Let's see what's another way I can do this here. Can't go by the motor mounts because they could be different on both sides. But if I hook here, right on here, so we are at exactly 42 inches. 42 inches. So if we go from this hole to this hole, we're at 42 inches. I mean, it's not the RoadsterShop's chassis, that's for sure. It's square. It's definitely square to itself. I'm gonna have to say it's my radiator support. That radiator support's got to be bent. It's got to be bent somehow. The horn's probably bent, and I can see that, you know, if the bumper gets hit, that's where the bumper brackets bolt to, real close to that. So if it flexed like this, it would pull them out to the side. So it's only off by, the holes are off on this side. I'm gonna say it's off by like a 1/2 inch, you know, which is not really nothing. It's adjustability this way or this way. I know I can adjust it, but I'm gonna cancel that radiator support out and we're gonna kill it. I'm gonna order a new radiator support because first off, it's a little crusty. It's got a patch out here, so it's had some work done on it, and I think I did that when I was a kid. So Yeah, I think we're gonna put a new radiator support on it. I think everything's cool. Next, next thing to fit is we're gonna fit the motor. Fit the motor and trans. Make sure all of that falls into place because I want to make sure that it's not too close to the firewall. And once we know that's all cool, it's a matter of taking this sucker apart, putting it up in the air, stripping it down, getting it out to powder coat, get this thing in the paint, the undercarriage, get this thing back together, put it back under the car, and man, it's going to be bad. Thanks for watching Ace Custom Cars on a 1973 Camaro build. We're going to have a lot more things going on. We're going to drop the motor in it, and once we know that fits, we're going to get it pulled back out, sent out, get the chassis sent out to powder coat. So tune in. Love your support. Thanks for watching. And like, subscribe. Send me a comment. I'd like to hear what you guys think, you know.